I have a huge problem with it. I despise it. I can't stand it. I've been on the record saying that. And this is not an indictment against LeBron James. This is not an indictment against the exceptional young coach that Tyronn Lue is, or Kyrie Irving, or anybody else. I have a problem with individuals who choose road games to take off. They're anticipating seeing a LeBron. They're anticipating seeing a Kyrie Irving. And that's their only shot throughout the season to see you. And you don't show up for that game.
Well, clearly Stephen A. is not exactly a fan of players sitting out. And last night, the Cavs, who have the best record in the Eastern Conference right now, lost to the Pistons by 16, and there was no LeBron James to be seen anywhere. He took the night off. So, guys, do you have a problem with LeBron sitting out? Don?
No, I don't. I mean, it's hard to argue against the idea that this is the only opportunity that little Timmy is going to get to see LeBron. Like, I understand that, and I appreciate that. But from LeBron's perspective, we aren't measuring him by Monday night games in the mid or at the end of December. We're measuring him by how he performs in the postseason, most importantly in the championship game. So this game means nothing to LeBron, and I completely support him sitting out. And Stephen A. made a point specifically about sitting out road games. I understand that point because it's their only chance to see you, but his loyalty is to the fans of Cleveland. And if you're a Pistons fan coming to a Pistons game, you want to win, right? You know when you're not going to win is when LeBron James puts on his shoes and suits up, him and Kyrie. When they're out there, you're going to catch that L.
I agree with Stephen A., and I don't agree with Stephen A. A couple of weeks ago, I was very critical of, and that's when that soundbite was from, when LeBron James decided to not even fly to Memphis. Kyrie didn't even fly to Memphis. You can't get on a private jet and go and sit on the end of the bench. I did not agree with him sitting out that particular night. But when you really dissect the Cavs schedule and what the schedule makers did, the NBA can't be mad at LeBron James. They played Thursday, Friday, had Christmas Eve off, had the most emotional game of their season on Sunday, made them fly Sunday night to Detroit after going home for 3 hours to spend with their families, and then play on Monday night. To me, that is completely uncalled for. And I do, though, on a normal back-to-back, believe in little Timmy. Because I grew up in towns in Kansas where it was 3 hours away to go see my favorite player, George Brett. And if I would have bought I know it was 162 games, but when I bought a ticket and I drove 3 hours, you best believe number 5 better have been playing. And so if I'm buying a ticket to watch LeBron James, who last time I checked, making like 30 mil, and the reason he's making 30 mil is because of little Timmy's dad, he better be playing on a normal back-to-back. But 4 out of 5 around the Christmas holidays, uncalled for.
He is making 30 mil, and he is being underpaid for 30 mil.
No question.
He's not getting paid 30 mil so that he can show up for little Timmy. He's getting paid 30 mil because he is the face of the league. And when he shows up, he plays extraordinarily well, and he builds a fan base. I think it's in the best interest of the league to have him sit out certain games and show up on the big stage. And let's say that he's exhausted and doesn't have the game that he has on Christmas Day. That hurts the league a lot more than him being mediocre at a random Pistons game. Like, this is in the best interest of everybody. If you want to reduce the number of games the players are playing, then that's one thing. If you're not going to do that, then you need the players to rest and be prepared to put on the best show at the most important times, which is on Christmas Day and in the playoffs.
I'm definitely on the side of the athletes here. Their allegiance is not to the organization or not to the fans. It is to
it 100% is to
it's not to the fans of Pistons.
It 100% no, but it 100% is to the fans of the NBA. Fans at home in Detroit. I almost guarantee you there's more LeBron fans in Detroit than there are Detroit fans. And if you think that you don't have allegiances to a fan base, when LeBron James, without the fans, without the NBA, where would he be today?
But for an athlete, you have to be selfish, though. And if you
can't
perform,
be selfish when you're making $30 million
the money,
a year.
Is there,
it absolutely is about the money.
It doesn't matter. There's no amount of money where you should remove empathy from a person's life. You can't, like, we could look at the amount of money that you make and say that you don't deserve empathy if we compare the amount of money you make to the amount of money that some people in America make. We all deserve empathy.
I show up.
Maybe you should.
I show
Maybe
up.
you should rest up.
I show
Maybe you should
up.
rest up so that you are better for shows like this and you don't get dominated like me. Take a
Wow.
take a
Wow.
page out of LeBron's books. Rest up. Get your mind right. Do your vocal exercises and come in and put up a show.
Exercises.
Right now, you are getting
He
bodied.
did not even want to talk about sports because it's gotten so bad for him. But I will say this, that when you're LeBron James, to me, you have a bigger responsibility than the 8th or 9th dude on the bench, or even a starter for that matter. I told you, I agree with him sitting out last night because the schedule makers did not do him any favors.
Yes.
But when you're playing a normal back-to-back, get on the plane and at least show up in the arena so the kids that come into the arena
I won't
can
argue
at
with
least
that.
physically see you and say, I got to stand pretty close to LeBron James. But to not even go, I have a problem with that. You got to show
won't
up.
But it's not fair for Stephen A. and you and other people to criticize LeBron for not showing up, and then at the same time, what we're really going to judge him by, what we're really going to remember and criticize him for, is how he performs in the playoffs. So he needs to rest his body for those times because you're going to criticize him then. And people compare this to years past and how the players used to play all the games back then. It's a different game. If you watch those films, any people who are smart in basketball, not that I'm not even claiming that I am, but you can watch the film of those old games and see that the intensity in those games are not the same.
You know what they used
So
to do
much
back
harder.
then? They'd play 3 nights in a row. They played 3
That
nights
don't make it
in a row.
right. Just because it used to happen don't make it right.
I'm not arguing whether or not back-to-backs are right. I'm not arguing whether or not I'm going to make the schedule. I'm not. My point is, when you are a superstar, you at least show up. Show up and show out. And LeBron James won't play 12 minutes a game. You know why? It hurts your average. It hurts the rebounds a game. It hurts the points a game. And I almost agree with that because it is somewhat about the records and about that. But you got to show up. So those kids, and not even just the kids, the adults. When you look at a guy like LeBron James up close, I worked at MSG Network. I was there when he scored 50 at the Garden. It's like watching, just short of Jesus Christ playing basketball. And just to see him in person is awesome. He's got to show up.
Well, the thing is that you're a star, and you show up every single
Thank
day.
you,
You
Prim.
showed up today, and so
Thank
did
you,
you.
Prim.
Always monotone in his answers, but always a good quote. And that would be Patriots coach Bill Belichick, that is. Earlier this week, when asked whether he would rest his players for the last week of the regular season, here's how he responded.
I don't really understand that question. I don't know how many starters we have, but we have a lot more than we can only inactivate 7 players. So, this isn't like a preseason game where you have 75 guys on your roster. It's a regular season game. So I don't really understand that whole line of questioning, and I'm not saying I'm a great mathematician or anything, but the numbers just don't add up for that type of conversation.
I legitimately love his pressers. They're the best. Ryan Clark joining us right now, rocking the bow tie. Ryan, do you like, love, or hate Belichick's comments?
It's Belichick, right? I mean, it's not the thing about it is, right, you're asking me if I like, love, or hate it. He could care less, though. Like, that's not his concern.
Right.
His concern is not we of the media. He could care less if he ever had to have a presser, ever had to answer a question. And really, what he did in so many words was say, well, that's a stupid question. Right? And he took the question very literal. As he said, are you resting starters? So he made the question sound like, because he knew the man wasn't like, are all 22 starters going to sit? He knew the man wasn't saying that. But because he's Bill Belichick and he wants to be contrary and he doesn't feel like being there, they didn't wash his hoodie or whatever, right? He made into this whole thing, which was the truth. You don't have enough helmets to rest every starter. You just don't. But he knew the guy was asking, hey, is Tom Brady going to sit? Or are you going to rest Martellus Bennett a little bit because you don't have Gronk? That's what he was asking him. Malcolm Butler get some time. But here's the thing. They're still playing for a seed. Mm-hmm. They can be the 2nd seed in the playoffs if Oakland wins. So it's really not a question he has to answer right now because they need to go out and win this game. But it's a Bill Belichickian answer.
So he obviously hates the question, but now that you've joined the dark side with us here on the media side, do you like, love, or hate his comments?
None. I nothing it.
Nothing? You're not gonna.
Yeah, I just nothing it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Refuse to play the game, huh? I respect it.
I nothing it.
I'll play.
Okay, what's up?
I love how he responded to this. The first thing I wrote down, to agree with you is he does not care about our opinion. I think it's hilarious how for so many years now, it's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. If you don't see the wizard behind the curtain, you really don't know what's going on. I believe before every press conference, he stands behind the door and laughs with everybody that works at the Patriots. And fans actually believe this is how Bill Belichick is. He's got a very good personality. He's kind of a fun guy. If you've ever seen him behind the scenes on NFL films, he just likes to go out and have fun with you. Have fun with you because it doesn't matter. He has gotten to a level, and his philosophy I agree with. He doesn't want to rest his starters. He believes in records and legacies and things of that nature. And if you rest starters, you just give games away, even if there is something to play for as far as seeding is concerned. I also believe that he believes that at Foxborough, they are unbeatable in the AFC playoffs. That's why the number 1 seed is so important.
So, I mean, I believe, first of all, I'll play the game.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
Did you get to point out that I ain't played?
No, I
said it one time.
I kind of felt like you did.
Yeah, you said it one time.
I'm sorry.
We heard you.
I mean, the Steelers beat the Ravens this weekend, so you and I are not in a great place right now, sir. You look better than me with that bow tie on. I don't appreciate it. I can't pull a bow tie off. I don't know if my neck is too small or what, but I'm not the bow tie type of guy. I go conventional type. But anyway, to the point. I love what he did. That bit of press conference judo that he pulls off is good. But I think that he's lying in the idea that obviously he won't sit all of his starters, but he's a smart man, and he's the type of head coach that has long-term vision and appreciates looking into the future and not thinking about week to week. I think that he knows that what's in the best interest is having healthy Tom Brady and that all their players are healthy that they need. And he's going to sit some of those guys and I think reduce their time or at least not put them in risk as much as possible. And it's also to his advantage to give Garoppolo a few more snaps because Garoppolo's going on the block as soon as the season's over. After the final whistle is blown, they are shopping Garoppolo around. They're trying to get something for that. Either that or Brady's out of there, which I know sounds crazy, but I think Belichick is a long-term thinking type of guy, and he wants to be ahead of the curve instead of behind it.
I think I disagree with some of your points. I don't think he cares about legacy and records and those things. I think all he cares about is winning. And maybe
doesn't that lead to legacy?
Well,
winning big, not necessarily winning this week.
He's not worried
winning
about, right, so I'm saying. And so I think if he felt like it would be in the benefit of winning, right? Because if he goes 13-3 or 14-2, it doesn't matter unless he wins the Super Bowl. Right, we won't care. We won't be like it was a 13-3 team. It wasn't like a 14-2 team. Right, so I don't think that actually factors in. But what you said about having the playoffs come through Foxborough matters to him, and that's what's going to be important because I think he believes that's the best way for him to win. And on your Garoppolo point, I don't play him no more.
That's true. That's
not anymore. I don't play him.
Anybody.
No more. Because what he did, right? Because the small part you guys remember.
Right, you're right. You can't increase the value.
He would have been a Pro Bowler at that level he played at.
Right.
Right. You know who's saying that? All the teams with bad quarterbacks.
That's a good point.
Right?
You can't improve his value at this point.
All the teams that want him, there's a scout going in, hey, man, you know, if Jimmy Garoppolo would have played, they'd be 13-2, just like they are with Tom Brady, and he still has nice hair. You know what I mean? It's all kind of stuff they sell.
When you look at, and also the reason I don't think that he thinks this way as well, he has proven that it doesn't matter who's out on the field with Tom Brady this year at all. Gronk goes down, doesn't matter. These guys go down, he gets rid of these, doesn't matter. As long
it's
as
always
Tom,
been the way with the Patriots. It doesn't matter who's in.
And that's crazy. As long as Tom Brady's out there, that's all that matters.
By the way, I feel like he does not wash his hoodie. Because you said he is a washer. I feel like he does not wash his hoodie.
It's like 20 in the closet.
That's true. He probably does.